You step onto the grand concourse. The air itself seems to hum with ancient power. This is the Council Spire, the center of the galaxy. It makes you feel incredibly small. Aliens of 1,000 species glide past. They are titans and whispers, beings of rock and light. Their robes are woven from captured starlight. Their eyes hold the wisdom of dying suns. They look straight through you. You are a ghost here, a new human in a very old place. Your plain service uniform feels like a child's costume. You keep your head high. You represent Earth and its colonies. This is a duty and an honor. Or so you tell yourself. It mostly feels like being the last one picked for a team, a very, very large team. The spire rises through the planet's atmosphere. It pierces the clouds and touches the void. Down here, everything is polished metal and silent gravity lifts. You find your assigned observation post. It overlooks the main chamber. It is a glorified seat in the nosebleed section. You are not a diplomat. Not really. You are a junior attaché. Your job is to watch and report. You translate data streams from the council floor. You file reports no one will probably read. It is the most important, boring job in the universe. Your console flickers to life. It shows the proceedings below. The Glimmer kin are debating trade routes with the stone-like Ordovax. Their voices are chimes and grinding consonants. The universal translator in your ear struggles to keep up. It sounds like a rock tumbler arguing with a wind chime. A familiar sound by now. You watch them all. The powerful, the ancient, the beings who decide the fate of worlds. They have forgotten more star science than humanity has ever learned. And here you are, a tiny piece in their grand, cosmic game. You try to look like you belong. You feel the immense, crushing weight of it all. You are utterly alone. Your console shows the standard data streams, trade statistics, shipping manifests, diplomatic pleasantries so thick you could slice them. It is a river of information. 99% of it is noise. Your job is to find the 1% that matters. Then you see it. A flicker in the torrent. A string of code that does not belong. It is not part of the official record. It is a whisper in a hurricane of data. It moves with deliberate stealth, hiding in the background radiation of the network. Your heart quickens. This is not normal. This is something else. Something meant to be found by someone looking for it, or by someone like you. Someone bored enough to stare at raw data for hours. The message is heavily encrypted, a puzzle box wrapped in a riddle. It pulses for a moment. Then it is gone, vanished back into the noise. But you caught it. A snapshot of the code now rests in your private data pad. You glance around the observation deck. No one else seems to have noticed. The other attachés are half asleep or watching star dramas on their displays. Later, in your small private quarters, you work. The room is a sterile white box. A bed, a desk, a window showing the endless star fields. The spire provides everything you need, except for decent coffee. The alien equivalent tastes vaguely of regret. You focus on the code. You peel back the layers of encryption. Your training was in signal analysis. This is your true skill, the part of your job you actually enjoy. The code is elegant, complex, and deeply afraid. Hours pass. The false sun of the spire cycles tonight. Finally, you break through the last layer. The message unfolds. It is not text. It is a series of star charts. And a warning. The words are stark, simple. A storm gathers against the hearthlight. They are not accidents. The charts show your home sector, Human space. Small dots mark incidents over the last year. A freighter explosion near Alpha Centauri. A mining colony collapse on Mars. A communication blackout at a deep space outpost. Each was officially ruled an accident. A tragedy of the frontier. This message says they were not. The data stream was a ghost, a whisper from someone in the shadows. It found you, out of all the beings in this spire. Why you? The message offers no clue. It only offers a terrible burden. The knowledge sits like a cold stone in your gut. A storm is gathering, and you are the only one who knows it is coming. The spire suddenly feels less like a center of power, and more like the heart of a great and terrible darkness. The message is a key. It is a thread. You know you have to pull it. You must find the source of these so-called accidents. The Spire archives are your next stop, a library of galactic history. Most of it is open to the public. The parts you need are not. The archives are a silent, cold place. Data crystals hum on endless shelves. They glow with soft, internal light. Information wranglers, strange, multi-limbed droids, glide through the aisles. They retrieve and refile knowledge. They are the galaxy's librarians. And they are very good at their jobs. You request the public records for the human incidents, the freighter explosion, the mining collapse, the comms blackout. The files are clean, terribly clean. Official reports. Condolences from the Council. Everything is neat and tidy. Too tidy. You need to go deeper. The message mentioned phantom ships, unregistered vessels moving in the dark. Their signatures would be buried, hidden in sealed records. Accessing them is forbidden without high-level clearance. Clearance you do not have. You feel a new kind of fear. This is not just about listening anymore. This is about breaking the rules. The Council does not take kindly to rule breakers, especially not from a junior species. Your career could end. You could be sent home in disgrace, or worse. But the message haunts you. A storm gathers. You cannot ignore it. You use your console to probe the archive's security. You look for a crack, a back door left open. The system is a fortress, built by minds far older and smarter than yours. It is hopeless. Then you remember something. All systems have a history. Patches, updates, old protocols. Sometimes, old keys still fit old locks. You search for archival access protocols from 100 years ago, a time when the security was less absolute. You find one, an old diagnostic routine for the Ordovax, a legacy tool that was never fully decommissioned. It is a long shot, a very long shot. It is also your only shot. You load the routine, you hold your breath, you point it at the sealed records. For a moment, nothing happens. Then a single word appears on your screen. Accessing. Your heart hammers against your ribs. You are in. The files are a mess of raw sensor data. Ghostly echoes in the void. Ships that powered up, did something, and then vanished. They never docked at any official port. They never filed any flight plans. Phantoms. You cross-reference their appearances with the disasters. A phantom ship was near the freighter just before it exploded. Another lurked in the asteroid belt near the Mars colony. A third drifted near the comms outpost before it went silent. The pattern is undeniable. These were not accidents. They were targeted strikes. The ships were stealing resources. The freighter carried refined helium-3. The colony mined rare earth metals. The outpost was a relay for energy transmissions. All of it was taken, siphoned off by these ghost ships. Someone is stealing from your people and covering their tracks with blood. You dig deeper into the phantom ship data. The sensor logs are corrupted, deliberately wiped, but not perfectly. Faint traces remain, a drive signature, an energy profile. It is a strange design, efficient, ruthless, and faintly familiar. You have seen it before. In the public gallery of ships, it belongs to a species known for its cold logic, its ambition, its stark, brutalist ship designs. You pull up the public records, your blood runs cold. The drive signature is a perfect match, the Cathar conglomerate. You now have a name for the shadows, the Cathar. Their ambassador sits on the Grand Council. He is a powerful figure, known for his sharp mind and sharper words. His name is Xylar. You have seen him on the council floor, a tall, slender being in dark, armored robes. His face is a mask of serene superiority. You leave the archives. Your mind is racing. You walk back towards the main chamber. You need to see him. You need to look at the architect of this plot. You find your observation post. You look down at the council floor. And you see him. Ambassador Xylar. He is speaking with the human ambassador, your ambassador. They are laughing. A polite, diplomatic laugh. It makes your skin crawl. You stare at Xylar. You focus on him, as if your thoughts could reach him, as if you could burn a hole through his calm exterior. Suddenly, he stops. The laughter dies on his face. He turns his head slowly. He lifts his gaze. Past the delegates, past the guards, up to the observation decks. His eyes are black, devoid of light. And they find you, instantly. Across the vast chamber, his gaze locks with yours. There is no surprise in his eyes. There is no confusion. There is only cold, sharp recognition. He knows. He knows you have been in his data. He knows you have found his secret. And in that silent, terrifying moment, a new message is sent. Not through code, but through a look. I see you, little human. Your move. The connection breaks. He turns back to your ambassador. The polite smile returns. But you saw it. You saw the predator behind the mask. You stumble away from the viewport. Your hands are shaking. You are no longer just an observer. You are a player in the game. And you just met the opponent. You need help. You are out of your depth. A junior attaché against a council ambassador. It is a fight you cannot win alone. But who can you trust? The Cathar have influence. They have allies. To speak of this openly is to invite ruin. You retreat to the archives. It feels like the only safe place. The only place where truth still matters. You sit among the glowing data crystals. You try to think. To plan. The weight of your discovery presses down on you. They are a difficult people. The voice is soft. A whisper behind you. You spin around, your heart leaping into your throat. A being stands there. One you have seen before. One of the archivists. They are a Lorian, a species known for their quiet dedication to knowledge. The Lorian is slender and tall. Their skin has the texture of old paper. Their large, dark eyes hold a deep sadness. They gesture to your screen, to the Cathar ship designs you still have displayed. The Cathar. Their history is complicated. You are frozen. You do not know what to say. Admitting anything could be a trap. The archivist seems to read your thoughts. Fear is a cage, they say softly. My people have known this cage for a long time. We were neighbors of the Cathar once. The word once hangs in the air, full of unspoken loss. I am Ilara, the archivist says. I maintain this section of the archive. I have seen your search queries. You are looking for ghosts. She meets your gaze. There is no threat in her eyes, only a shared understanding, a shared pain. You are not the first to hunt them. She leads you to a private study node, away from the main aisles, a place of deep silence. The Cathar are builders, she explains. They build empires. They build fleets. And they build lies to cover their work. She manipulates the archive controls. She pulls up files you could never have found. Sealed records from Lorien, history. Reports of raids and lost ships. Of resources that vanished. The pattern is identical to what happened in human space. The Cathar had done this before. Many times. They preyed on younger, weaker species. They took what they wanted. They left behind only grief and carefully constructed accidents. We tried to bring this to the Council, Alara says, her voice heavy. But the Cathar are masters of the game. They buried our claims and procedure. They questioned our evidence. They painted us as hysterical. No one listened. Her people had suffered in silence, just as humanity was suffering now. This was an unexpected hand of friendship, a lifeline in a sea of enemies. You realize you are not alone. You have an ally, an archivist with access to the truth, a member of a species with a reason to see the Cathar exposed. Hope, for the first time in days, feels real. Together, you and Alara work in secret. Her knowledge of the archives is absolute. She shows you how to bypass Cathar security markers. She teaches you to see the invisible ink in their records. You are a student again, learning from a master of a secret craft. The craft of uncovering hidden truths. The picture grows larger, more horrifying. It is not just a few raids. It is a systematic campaign of theft. Spanning decades, dozens of minor species have been targeted. The Cathar have been secretly bleeding the outer sectors dry, building their power on the misfortunes of others. The attacks are all brilliantly disguised. A pirate raid here, a solar flare there, an industrial accident. Each event is plausible on its own. Only when you see the whole tapestry does the monstrous design become clear. The Cathar are playing a long game, a very long game. And humanity is their latest target. But why, you ask, looking at the mountain of data? They are already a rich and powerful species. Why do they need to steal like this? Alara's face is grim. She points to the resource manifests. It is not just metals and fuel. It is strategic materials, starship components, weapons-grade elements. The kind of stuff you need for a major military expansion. The kind of stuff that has to be logged with the Council, unless you steal it. They are not just stealing resources, Alara says softly. They are erasing the evidence of what they are building. The scope of the conspiracy is staggering. It goes far beyond mere greed. This is about power. The kind of power that could destabilize the entire galactic order. You have the proof. Hard data, sensor logs, historical precedents. It is a solid case. Incontrovertible. Now you have to do something with it. The first logical step is to inform your own leadership. To bring this to the human ambassador, he has to see this. He has to act. You secure a meeting with Ambassador Thorne. He is a career diplomat, a man who has built his life on caution, on not rocking the boat. His office is luxurious, thick carpets, polished wood from old Earth. It is a comfortable cage. You stand before his desk. You present your findings, the phantom ships, the link to the Cathar, the pattern of disguised attacks. You lay it all out. Your voice is steady. The evidence is overwhelming. You expect shock, anger, a call to action. Instead, the ambassador listens with a placid smile. He steeples his fingers. He looks at you with an expression of tired patience. It is the look of a man who has seen too many idealistic juniors with wild conspiracy theories. This is quite a story, Attaché, he says. His tone is dismissive. Ambassador Xylar, is a respected member of the Council. The Cathar are a vital trade partner. He gestures vaguely at your datapad. You have compiled a series of unfortunate coincidences. You try to argue, to show him the connections, the proof. He waves a hand, cutting you off. Do you know what would happen if you made these accusations public? He asks. Humanity would be a laughingstock. We would be isolated. Our trade deals would collapse overnight. We are new here. We cannot afford to make enemies of the powerful. His logic is a wall of human doubt and fear. He sees only the risk, the danger of speaking up. He does not see the danger of staying silent. Stand down, he says. The words are in order. Drop this. Erase these files. That is an order from your superior officer. You are stunned into silence. He is not just ignoring the threat. He is ordering you to bury it, to become complicit in the silence. He thinks he is protecting humanity. You know he is condemning it. You leave his office. Your proof feels worthless in your hands. The one person who should have been your greatest ally has become your greatest obstacle. You are back where you started, alone. But now, you are also defying a direct order. You are a traitor in the eyes of your own command. You return to your quarters, defeated. You stare out the window at the stars. It feels like they are mocking you. Ambassador Thorne meant well, you suppose, in a bureaucratic, career-saving sort of way. He just could not see the shark circling beneath the water. Your console chimes. A priority 1 message. From Council Security. Your blood turns to ice. You open the message. It is a summons. You are to report to a security tribunal immediately. The charge? Espionage. You have been framed. The Cathar knew you would go to your ambassador. They must have anticipated his reaction, his dismissal, and they used that time to strike. It is a carefully laid digital trap, and you walked right into it. The charge sheet is precise. It claims you used your position to access sealed files, not just from the Cathar, but from a dozen other species. It claims you falsified data to create a pattern of aggression. It claims you are trying to destabilize the Council. For the benefit of humanity, they have twisted your investigation. They have turned your evidence into a weapon against you. You see Xylar's cold logic in every line. It is brilliant, vicious, and it will work. No one will believe the junior attaché from a backwater world. They will believe the powerful ambassador. You have minutes before security arrives at your door. Panic claws at your throat. But then, a different feeling rises. Anger. Cold, clear anger. They think they have you. They think you are trapped. But they made a mistake. They underestimated you. They think you are just another scared junior officer. They assumed you would be clumsy, that your search for evidence would be noisy. And it was. A little bit. But you also had a teacher. Ilara. She taught you how to move through the archives, and she taught you about digital tripwires. The Cathar planted false evidence in the systems you accessed, evidence that now points to you. But as you look at the charge sheet, you see their trap, and you see the key to turning it. They had to create forged access logs, logs that show you entering files you never touched. Their forgery is good, almost perfect. But to create a fake log, they had to access the security system itself. And that action leaves a trace, a faint one, a digital fingerprint. They were so focused on framing you. They never imagined you would be looking for them. You work faster than you ever have. Your fingers fly across your console. You are not trying to erase their evidence. You are trying to follow it, to trace the origin of the forged logs. It is a race against the clock. The sound of heavy footsteps echoes in the corridor outside. You find it. A single data packet. The one that initiated the entire frame job. It came from a secure server. A server registered to the Cathar conglomerate. It is the digital smoking gun. But it is not enough. They will say you faked it. But the packet has something else inside. A routing command. To erase the original files you and Alara found. The real evidence of their phantom ships. They are cleaning up their mess, and their trap for you was the trigger. They have linked their crimes to your capture. You have a choice. Save yourself, or expose them. You cannot do both. The security team is at your door. They are pounding on it now. Open up, Council Security. You take a deep breath. You reroute the Cathar's erase command. Instead of deleting the files on the phantom ships, you send the command to a new target, the public broadcast system for the entire Spire. You attach a single note, a gift from the Cathar conglomerate. Then you trigger their trap. You accept the summons. As Council Security bursts into your room, as they haul you away in binders, a new alert flashes across every screen in the Spire. A massive data dump, sourced directly from a Cathar secure server. You use their own trap against them. It leaves them exposed, for a moment. But a moment might be all you need. You are held in a sterile detention cell. The walls are seamless white. There is no window, only the low hum of a containment field. You are a prisoner, a traitor, but you have a strange sense of calm. You played your hand. Now you wait. You do not have to wait long. The charges against you are quietly dropped. The Cathar cannot press the case, not when their own secure server initiated a public data dump. They overplayed their hand. They are exposed. But what did they expose? Alara comes to see you. Her visit is unofficial, a privilege pulled by a friend in the security division. She brings a data pad. Her face is pale. You were right, she whispers. But you were not right enough. It is so much worse. She shows you the data. The files the Cathar were so desperate to erase. It was not just about stolen resources. It was about what those resources were building in a hidden corner of their space, in a nebula that masks all energy signatures. They have been constructing an armada, a fleet of warships, hundreds of them, far beyond the limits of the Council treaties. These are not patrol ships. They are ghost dreadnoughts, built with stolen parts, fueled by stolen energy, crewed by soldiers who do not officially exist. It is a weapon of conquest. The final objective is horrifyingly clear. The Cathar do not just want to bully humanity. They want to subjugate it, to conquer human space, and absorb its resources and worlds into their growing empire. The attacks were not just theft. They were reconnaissance, testing defenses, gauging response times, preparing for a full-scale invasion. This is why they had to frame you, why they had to silence you. The secret was too big. The plan was too far along. Humanity was to be their next great prize, a stepping stone to even greater power. The Council would never know until it was too late. They would see it as an internal matter, a regional conflict, just as they had with the Lorien. You and Alara are the only ones who see the whole picture. The Council will not act on a data dump from an anonymous source. The Cathar will claim they were hacked, that the data is a fabrication, a lie designed to slander their good name. They are masters of this game. You cannot fight them through official channels. The system is too slow, too biased towards the powerful. You need a new strategy. If the powerful will not listen, then you must speak to the powerless, the ignored, the other victims. You compile a list. With Alara's help, species from the outer sectors, minor powers who have suffered accidents, beings who have reported lost ships and strange sensor readings, those whose pleas were dismissed by the Council. Just like the Lorian, from your detention cell you begin to reach out. Using Alara's secure channels, you send them the proof, the data dump from the Cathar server, the ship designs, the star charts. You do not ask for much, only that they look, that they compare it to their own losses. The first reply comes from a reptilian species called the Shriek. They had lost a science vessel a decade ago. It was listed as lost to spatial anomaly. Your data shows a Cathar phantom ship disabling its engines and towing it away. Another reply comes from the crystalline Phony. Their asteroid mining operation went silent. A reactor failure. Your data shows it was systematically dismantled by a Cathar harvester ship. One by one, they respond. The ignored, the forgotten, the victims of a silent, one-sided war. They see the truth in your data because they have lived it. A coalition begins to form, not in the grand halls of the Council, but in the encrypted back channels of the Spire, an alliance of the overlooked, a secret front against the coming darkness. You are no longer just an attaché. You are a fulcrum, a point around which a new power is balancing. It is a fragile power, built on shared fear and a thirst for justice. But it is a power nonetheless. The Cathar wanted to isolate you. Instead, they have made you a symbol. Ambassador Thorn requests to see you. He comes to your cell himself. He looks older. The confident, dismissive politician is gone. In his place is a man who has stared into the abyss. He has seen the data dump. He has seen the reports from other species flooding the lower councils. I was wrong, he says. The words are quiet, full of a terrible weight. I was a fool. I saw a threat to my career, not a threat to my people. He looks at you, not as a subordinate, but as an equal. That armada, it is real. He now sees the whole terrible picture. The lies, the theft, the coming war. His comfortable world has been shattered. He understands that his caution was a form of cowardice, a betrayal of the very people he was sworn to protect. The Council will not act, he says. The Cathar have already begun their spin. They claim it is a human plot, that we are warmongers. He shakes his head. They will bury us in procedure, while their fleets burn our worlds. Not if we don't let them, you say. A plan has been forming in your mind. A desperate gamble. A move so bold the Cathar would never see it coming. We cannot win in the shadows. We have to bring this into the light. All of it. You explain your idea. A public presentation before the Grand Council. You will not just present your data. You will bring your allies. All of them. The Lorian, the Shriek, the Phony, and a dozen others. They will stand with you. They will give their testimony. They will show the Council the true face of the Cathar. It is a massive risk. It could backfire spectacularly. It could start a war right there on the Council floor. Ambassador Thorn listens. He is silent for a long time. You see the calculation in his eyes, the weighing of risks. The diplomat is not dead after all. They will try to stop us, he says. They will use every rule in the book. Then we use a bigger book, you reply. You tell him about a forgotten council charter. One, Alara found. A charter that allows any group of 10 or more member species to demand a public hearing, a right of collective grievance. It has not been used in 500 years, but it is still law. A slow smile spreads across Thorn's face. It is the first genuine smile you have ever seen from him. "That is brilliant," he says. "Utterly, suicidally brilliant." He nods. "All right, attaché. Let's go make some waves." He has made his choice. He will risk everything on your plan. The day of the Grand Council session arrives. The chamber is full. Beings from 1,000 worlds are present. There's a tension in the air, a feeling that something is about to break. Ambassador Xylar sits with his delegation. He looks serene, confident. He believes he has weathered the storm. He thinks this is about a minor data leak, a small diplomatic embarrassment. He has no idea what is coming. Ambassador Thorn stands. He requests the floor. He is granted it. But he does not speak. He looks to you. You are standing in the gallery, not as a prisoner, but as a witness. On behalf of the Terran conglomerate, Thorn begins, his voice ringing with newfound strength. And on behalf of our partners. He gestures. From the shadows of the chamber, they emerge. The Lorian delegation, led by Alara, the Shriek ambassador, the Phony matriarch, and more. 20 delegations in all. They walk to the center of the floor. They stand with humanity. A wave of shock ripples through the chamber. This is unprecedented. Ambassador Xylar's calm expression finally cracks. He sees it now. This is not a human protest. This is an uprising. "We invoke the Charter of Collective Grievance," Thorn declares. "We have evidence of a plot that threatens us all. We demand a public hearing." Now the council president, an ancient being of pure energy, has no choice. The law is the law. The hearing is granted. You step forward. All eyes are on you. You begin to speak. You tell them everything. The phantom ships, the stolen resources, the frame job, the hidden armada. And then you present the evidence, not on a small data pad, but on the main hollow screen. The entire chamber becomes a screen. Your data comes to life. Ghostly Cathar, ships tear into freighters. The faces of the other delegates appear. Each tells their own story, of loss, of dismissal, of a creeping darkness they could not name. The evidence is overwhelming. The testimony is heartbreaking. The sheer scale of the deception is laid bare for all to see. The Qatar's lies unravel, thread by thread. Ambassador Xylar tries to object, to call for order. But no one is listening to him anymore. They are listening to the truth. The final piece of evidence appears on the screen. The Armada, hundreds of warships, displayed in perfect detail, sourced from the Cathar's own server. There is a collective gasp from the chamber. The lie is broken. The truth is out. The predator is revealed. The judgment from 1,000 worlds is swift. And it is final. The Council condemns the Cathar conglomerate. Their fleets are to be dismantled under Council supervision. Their stolen territories are to be returned. Their seat on the Grand Council is suspended indefinitely. Ambassador Xylar and his entire delegation are taken into custody. As they are led away, his eyes find yours one last time. The cold superiority is gone, replaced by pure, unadulterated hatred. You have not just defeated him. You have destroyed his entire world. Humanity is no longer the new kid on the block. You are not the ignored junior species. You stood before the galaxy. You spoke truth to power, and you were heard. You forged a coalition. You faced down a tyrant, and you won. Humanity stands taller than ever before. Weeks pass. The Spire feels different now. The air still hums with power, but it is not as intimidating. You are no longer a ghost in the halls. The titans and whispers of the galaxy now nod as you pass. They know who you are. Their eyes no longer look through you. They look at you with respect. You have a new office. It is not in the nosebleed section anymore. It has a window with a magnificent view. Ambassador Thorne has been recalled. Promoted. He recommended you as his replacement. The title feels strange. Acting ambassador, you stand at your window. You look out at the sea of stars. It is the same view as from your old quarters, but it looks entirely different. It is no longer a vast, lonely emptiness. It is a future you helped secure. Ilara joins you. She brings 2 cups of what passes for tea. It is still terrible, but you drink it with a smile. The Lorien. People send their gratitude, she says, and their friendship. The alliance you built in secret is now a public bloc. A new voice for the smaller powers, a force for balance. The work is not over. It is just beginning. There are treaties to write, alliances to strengthen, a galaxy to heal. But for the first time, you feel ready. You are not just a watcher anymore. You are a guardian. A new message appears on your console, a request for a meeting. From a species you have never heard of, from a distant corner of the galaxy. They have a problem. A story that sounds strangely familiar. A whisper of a gathering storm. You smile. You now watch the stars with new authority. And you are ready to listen.